in a fantasy realm where the land is overrun with fire-breathing turtles, sorcerers, demons, and other evildoers who are driven to strike fear into the hearts of the innocent. Two friends come together to form an elite squad who venture forward and are dedicated to putting an end to their shit. These are their stories.
Once upon a time, there was John, a great young man, muscular, shredded, ripped, with a very fine tan. Everyone truly loved him, the talk of the town, can make anyone smile when wearing a frown. He had massive good looks and got straight A's in school. Those that didn't like him looked like a fool, always giving back and helping people out. Wherever he went, people would scream and shout. He had the world in the palm of his hands, learning of different cultures and traveling the lands. His future was bright, he'd have it all. He knew how to catch people whenever they'd fall. With his family and all of his friends he has met, his life path was clear, and his happiness was set. So one day he ventured into a Hollywood store filled with tons of games and movies and junk food galore. He earned some time off, so he went to see what his next video game adventure would be. He was a little shocked, nothing caught his eye, no game that would easily make time fly. Feeling let down, he went to leave, with no new greatness for him to achieve. Then he heard something whisper his name. It came from the right, from a video game. He approached it slowly, not knowing what to expect. He then found the source that gave the effect. He carefully picked it up and looked and had no idea that he'd soon be hooked. Unaware this would alter his life seemingly overnight, he would soon become a victim while living in fright. As time would go by, things would only get worse, with no possible way to overcome this curse. He decided to give it a shot as it was new. The name of this curse: Fatal Frame 2. He returned to his home and went to his room, which will slowly transform into a tomb. He popped the game in and started to play. A lifelong feud was born that day. He never feared ghosts before. There was no need. With his overflowing confidence, he took the lead. He saw the first ghost, which was far away. He thought, that wasn't scary. I wasted money today. So he followed the ghost through the first door. Now cocky let out a sarcastic roar. That was a choice he'd want to undo, as he got scared shitless when he saw ghost number 2. He said out loud, okay, you got me, we're even. The door then locked behind him, meaning your ass ain't leaving. He explored more of the house, picking up files and keys, and more goddamn ghosts popped out doing what they please. He soon regretted getting this at the store, as a ghost waited for him to open the next fucking door. Once he finally did, that bastard appeared, but it didn't do anything. It just leered. He finally got his camera. The first battle ensued, the first of many more fights throughout this feud. Doing little damage, he asked, what the fuck? Oh, they have to get nice and close? Just my luck. Not long after, he took that bitch down, then had to leave and re-enter the town. Before wanting to do this, he decided to save, but another battle was starting. Time to be brave. A box was opening itself. He wondered what's inside. Once he actually saw it, his eyes opened wide. A long, black-haired bitch crawled out, not very fun. He shit himself, then screamed, fuck this, I'm done! He immediately returned the game without debate. That's when he realized he had just signed his fate. He escaped the evil clutches of what lurked in the dark. The horrors that he escaped had clearly left a mark. He couldn't get that scary music outside of his head or the moans and groans from those who were dead. He slowly became a different man who no longer felt that he had a plan. He could no longer help those who really needed him, and he gained a lot of weight, so his future seemed grim. Every time someone would scream, he'd get very scared. He started feeling isolated, as if nobody cared. That damn curse had now affected his life, cutting him deep way more than a knife. He bumped into his best friend, Jared, who knew something's wrong. He asked him, what's up, man? You break your new bong? John explained the horrors he had just gone through. Jared also thought that was scary, but maybe fun too. He tried his best to get to him to try and go again. John refused, but said, kiss my ass times 10. But eventually he was convinced to give it another go, and that they'd face it as a team instead of solo. They reacquired the curse, took it home, and hated being back. The two friends suited up, said their prayers, then went on the attack. The duo had reached the point where it all went wrong. That uber disgusting bitch with black hair that was long. John freaked out again and really wanted to quit. Jared said, screw that and destroy that shit. And he did. He finally got his revenge and killed that bitch. It took John about 5 minutes to control his nervous twitch. The team got to feel a sense of ease, but it didn't last, because the ghosts would get stronger as time had passed, continuously chasing after your very stupid sister, becoming more annoying than a dollar-sized blister. Monks, gardeners, little kids, a jumper, and a priest, these bastards were a pain in the arse, to say the least. After a long and painful journey, they reached the end, and an ass-whomping they were happy to lend. John took the last shot, and it falls. He then shouted in triumph, "That's right! Suck my mighty balls!" It was over. The nightmare was done. None of which was any fun. Life returned to normal. The bad had passed. He defeated Fatal Frame 2 at long last. After 2 very quick years, something happened that brought back fears. While scrounging in a different game store, he found something that made his heart soar. He discovered what he prayed to never see. He saw Fatal Frame 2, but also Fatal Frame 3. He got them both, which was very dumb. He decided to conquer what made him numb. Desiring to beat this shite alone, he was able to do so. With new courage was shown. With a little bit of experience with this crap, he was able to beat Fatal Frame 3. It's a wrap. Another 2 years go by, now serving the knights, learning to fight back against all fights. A fellow knight came to him one day. He listened to hear what she needed to say. She asked if he was good at video games. "Hell yeah, I am, and I will prove my claims." She stated that she was having trouble with the game and needed help on the double. Of course he agreed to help her out, so he asked, "What's the game about?" She responded by saying, "I don't remember the name, but you take pictures of ghosts throughout the game." He just about shit, as he thought it was done. She then said, "Fatal Frame 2, that's the one." He tried to apologize and say no, "But I can't beat it without you, though." He couldn't say no, so he agreed, and liquor might become a vital need. They traveled to her place, sensing the fear was back. He needed to look tough, so he went on the attack. After succeeding in hell, he put her hand on his chest. She responded by putting his hand on her chest, which was the best. Happy to have helped her, he felt free, and can now be the person he desires to be. After another 2 years, his roommate needed aid. With a video game, the punishment is paid. He stated, "It's a game called Fatal Frame 2, where ghosts try to kill you." Unfucking believable this can't be. What's the goddamn reason this game's fucking with me? Long story short, they kicked its ass, all while drinking, which shows they had class. He got out of the Knights and returned home, but an awful idea formed in his fucked up dome. He went out and purchased all 3 of this shite and conducted what would be the very last fight. With the goal of getting revenge, and the time he had lost he will avenge. Chapter by chapter, the end drew near, and he destroyed all 3 pieces of shite with no fear. John had all of his hell saved on his PS3. He really was finally free. Then something happened that blew him away. Somehow all of his proof was gone one day. Maybe this was life granting him a fresh start and restore peace back into his heart. But in a shocking twist, Jared had a request. By wanting to dig up what's been at rest. Wanting to record our pain in this nightmare so he could take our hell and give it a share. After colorful dialogue, John agreed. But there was one thing that was a need, and that was Jared having to play it because John had had his fill of this shit. Then it happened. John went bye-bye by wanting this feud to finally die. And to do this, he must kill all 3. Then he will be completely free. So having said all this, he'll need some luck. Vowing success, he screams, "Let us fuck!"